All right, so check it out. The next phase of the Land Cruiser 100 series build here is we're going to be installing the National Luna dual battery split charging system for the 12-volt system, of course, here in the United States. And been trying to kind of piece together some of this stuff for a while, but the one last thing that I've really got to get is still the deep cycle battery. So I've kind of zeroed in on a couple different ones. I've typically run Optima red tops, because I had a lot of good experiences with those early on, but that's going back about 15 years ago. And so I've had a couple not so good experiences. Currently I'm running an Optima red top in here, but that's because it was replaced under the 3-year warranty. So anyway, that's kind of questionable. I'm trying to look at other options besides the Optima yellow top for the deep cycle. I'm looking at, I've seen a North Star, I think is one I'm looking at. So anyway, when I get that, which hopefully will be in the next couple weeks or so, we will tackle the installation of this this unit here. But I did pick this up from Equipped Expedition Outfitters up here in Salt Lake City, and he's just killer, always great to work with and super knowledgeable. You can check out all of their YouTube videos, and they're very informative on everything pertaining to the refrigerator systems that they sell and the electrical systems that they sell as well. So the install, this is going to be kind of cool. In the meantime, while I'm waiting for the battery, we will take a look at this. We'll open it up, take a look at it, and then I'll show you kind of what the situation is under the hood and what we've got to do to tackle this project. So looking forward to it. The reason we're going with this is kind of because the National Luna fridge, which I'm running, which you can check out the other videos, I do have it wired in here with the Euro connector, but I don't drive this truck every single day. So anytime that the battery depletes more than the programmed setting right there of 11.5 volts, hold on, let me get this fishing gear out of here. My little bed, sleeping blanket situation. Anyway, one super awesome thing about this, and most refrigerators have that now, is oh look, there's a fault ID. That's interesting. First time I've seen that. Is you can set the automatic cutoff, okay? So if you don't want to come back to a dead battery in your truck, it will turn the shit off for you. So what happens is it will generally keep the stuff inside cold for at least a day, even if the truck's not running, before it kind of depletes my 12-volt battery, and then it cuts off, and then it just starts slowly warming everything up. So maybe by the second day I could still get a cold soda out of here, but by the third day, yeah, the temperatures are just climbing, and it's just not good for the whole truck's main battery system. So that's what we're going to conquer with the new double battery, deep cycle battery. Even if this truck doesn't run for probably 3 to 4 days at least, should be able to maintain the refrigeration and whatnot in here and keep beverages cold for several days, as well as the other benefit of having the ability to jump start your own vehicle when you're out in the bush. So the monitoring system is pretty stellar with how this all sets up and how this all works. So let's just take a look inside the package here, and then on the next video for this little series we will get to the installation. Okay, so as you would expect, if you're going to pay $350, $320, $350 some odd dollars for a unit like this, it's going to be well packaged and quality stuff, quality packaging. So here's the back of the box information. It does come with a super informative instruction manual, so that's super nice. Real quick things of note are the testing of your truck's alternator, okay, kind of right here, that step right there. Now I went out, I was kind of nervous about this. I was like, man, I better test my voltage to see if my newly installed Remand Denso alternator in this truck, I barely installed that thing in the last 6 months probably, if it was going to kick out enough amps, or at least whatever, maintain enough volts to do as this describes. And I was kind of concerned because I did as it says here, you turn on the vehicle's lights, air conditioner, and all the other stuff, and sure enough, man, my alternator was dropping, my voltage was dropping down below 13.5. So I tested everything. I ran the seat heaters, lamps, off-road lights, regular lights, bright lights, refrigerator on, refrigerator off, all these different things to try to figure out if this thing was going to make the cut. And then I went inside because it wasn't. I was pretty worried about it. So then it dawned on me, I was like, oh, well, that was all at idle. I tested everything at idle. So I came back out, rehooked everything up, tested it, and just a little bit off idle with the throttle. So the whole time you're driving down the road, it's definitely kicking out plenty of volts to keep this system charged. So that's a relief. I was worried I was gonna have to buy the alternate battery and a new high amp alternator, but it seems like it's probably gonna fit the bill for now. But very well spelled out. That's my neighbor. I waited all day for her to quit and finish her weed eating so that I could video this shit, and now she's got this horrendous screeching weed eater problem going on. Wonderful. Like I said, I started videoing this earlier and I had to turn it off because she went to town weed eating, but you know what? I don't have time to dick around anymore, so you're just gonna have to deal with some weed eating sounds in the background for now. That's gonna be the benefit of having this freaking shop opened up here before too long, I hope. Anyway, the box. So there you go. Paul will tell you that he will sell you this stuff if you don't need all this cable. If you've got like a source of cable, you might be able to buy the kit without the cable. It's this copper cable in here that makes this specific kit, a bit more expensive. But inside the kit, you know, you've got everything as pictured here. All the little items, little doodads, hardware, this and that and the other. It's got a really nice set of clamps for the main battery, and then another set for what should be the alternate battery, aux battery. So those are size specific. You got a large hole and a small hole on both of these. So those are nice, good quality units, real sweet. The copper wire, there's a ton of it. It's like, how long does it say that wire is? It's tons. It's like 10 feet or something of wire. So all I'm planning to do is use this to get from one side of the engine bay to the other. So I'm gonna have a lot of excess wire, but that's okay. I don't mind. I'm sure I'll use it in future projects. But it's got your little 100 amp fuse block holders, which just pop open. You've got your 100 amp fuses in the hardware bag here. They included a whole bunch of terminal ends. Really nice. There's your 100 amp fuse right there. Now this here of course is the controller that mounts inside the cab. Super awesome. Not exactly sure how I'm going to mount it just yet. It's, you know, I don't want to have to split the thing open and then have to screw the back into somewhere and then reattach the cover. So I don't know. It's kind of a mystery right now. You've got this super long connection wire that goes between the monitor and the controller unit, whatever you want to call this, the solenoid. And here is the magic of the unit, is this solenoid. Now, after checking out Chow Care's YouTube channel, he's got a great YouTube channel specific to 100 Series Land Cruisers, or his 100 Series Land Cruisers, super informative. But he built a system kind of DIY from some Red Arc components. Red Arc, I believe, is in Australia, maybe. National Luna, of course, is generally from South Africa. But anyway, so I kind of thought about doing the whole system the way he did it, and that's what I was planning to do. But you know what? To be able to buy everything at once from my dealer local here that supplies me with the fridge, provides warranty service for the fridge, provides warranty service for this. They go hand in hand. It's like, why would I, you know, I may as well just do the whole system from one source and plug and play type of situation. So this thing should last forever as long as I have the truck. Of that, I'm sure. The basic operation here is, you know what, let's just go up to the front of the truck real quick and we'll talk about how it works. Okay, like I said, Optima red top. It's gonna be nice to be able to change out these clamps. This is the tap that I've sent up there to the 100 amp circuit breaker, resettable circuit breaker, all the way over here to my power bank that I installed last summer for the aux lights, the light bar and whatnot. Okay, now talking about how this thing works, it's pretty straightforward. You just plug your one battery into the one side of it. your other battery into the other side of it, and this just senses when the other battery we'll just I think we'll just wait until I get the damn thing installed, and then I'll explain to you how it works. Okay, real quick, the basic beauty of this system is just that when your main power, which is this side, when it drops off, it will stop discharging this side, and the intelligent solenoid will, among other things, it has some automatic functions, it will continue to allow you to bleed off the deep cycle battery down to whatever you have it set at to cut off. Okay, so it preserves your main battery so that you can have good starting the next morning after camp or whatever, and it just provides power to your accessories however you have it wired to from the deep cycle battery. Now the beauty also is with these types of batteries these are high amps, high cranking amps. You can see 1,000 and then 800 on the cold side, cold cranking amps. The deep cycle batteries are designed to deep cycle discharge all the way down to like 25% regularly, normally. Okay, these ones, if you continue to deep cycle discharge them, it damages the battery. So anyway, that's the basic function of how it works. Now we're gonna get it mounted up over here. This is my relay panel that I installed last year, which sadly I leaned up against and broke the ear off. So I'm gonna have to repair that. That's why that thing is sitting right here. But this is the ARB air compressor. So the dual battery is gonna be mounted right in this area. This is gonna have to get relocated back to here just a little bit. I'm gonna take the power steering reservoir. I'm gonna go grab some new hoses for that, and I'm gonna route it up here somewhere, forward of the air intake box. Big nice space right here. And so the deep cycle battery will basically mount from here up to there. And then I've got the power bank I'm only using part of that right here right now, so I'm sure that'll somehow be integrated into the system, but currently have this big wire coming from the far side, coming from that hot post right there. So that's the current setup. So we're gonna work on getting that all situated. Now this will go inside the cabin. This thing will have to be mounted, not exactly sure where, somewhere over here though. How about right here? I'm kidding. I'm not sure exactly where we will mount this thing. It's gonna kind of be a trick, but it's not waterproof. Got some connections and stuff right there, so it's got to be kind of up in the way and out of the water. So we'll have to find a good spot for it, somewhere along the lines of over here or something like that. But that's the program, that's the goal, that's what we're trying to achieve. So stay tuned for the next video. Hopefully we'll get this thing mounted up.